said, always look at it as another thing. And yet, not everybody's gonna be able to take it the same way. But like, still, if you when you get stuck in that situation, you gotta adapt. It is a part of the game, and that's what you'll see. How many times so far have we seen recently where Sonix will be down 2 games, getting destroyed, right? Then he stands still in the middle of the stage and taunting. Yeah, and then it just throws off the whole game because they're like, oh, he's taunting. He must be throwing it away, right? And then he wins the game because he just uses that as a mental reset moment and then bodies them. Don't ever give up. Getting into game number 1 here on Winners Finals. This is gonna be very interesting to watch.
Please not FD. Please not FD.
It's gonna be FD.
Please,
you know it is.
Please not FD. Come on.
It's gonna be PS2.
Okay, that's not
okay. The happy medium.
Great, cool. I mean, sometimes it's FD.
Yeah, it makes its way there every once in a while. This one, like, one good thing at least for Sonix is that once it gets to that FP setup, he can navigate a lot easier around all of the shots. There's nowhere for Capitancito to escape to, but Capitancito is going to be consistently trying to establish that pressure while the platforms are out, get those drag downs where he can, if he could be allowed to actually play the game, because Sonix is just running all over him. And okay, made it back. I forgot that air dodge is like a 3rd jump for Sonic.
It's the same as Ness's air dodge in some situations, but I do have to say it is a Saturday night and we're feeling good because KK Slider is here to put some tunes to these matches. Now Sonix is trying to take the stock. He goes for the back air, but he just clanks with a missile instead of Capitancito's face like I think he was going for, but a good nair out of the spin charge. I'm going to bring him to 146% Ajax. Rage is on the board and taken right off the board.
Always a consistent kill option. When you get that nice hit, and then you can force him to the forward air. Pretty much got to hold it every time. There's also the setup so you could do the homing attack reverse back air. You just always have to be scared whenever Sonix finds the gap and closes you out.
It's always a very bad situation to get yourself caught in at the end of the day, but oh, good.
Forces him
I really like that try from Capitancito to try and take the stock away with that kind of Randy-ish charge shot, because Sonix was falling that way, but it was even better recognition from Sonix to avoid it.
I'm actually going to say it wasn't even random because gets him on the platform.
Oh my god.
So he used that charge shot to force him to have to recover low, and then he immediately downer attempt at the ledge. He was much more comfortable with trying to get a ledge trap out of him by forcing him to go low, and I think that's going to make Sonix have to think like, okay, maybe do I go for a super high recovery next time to try and dodge that, because Capitancito is super solid at these 2 frames.
Speaking of super high recoveries, though, Sonix was definitely looking to call one out right there by trying to go up high with that spring to catch him. He's just going to get caught by the jab on landing instead, and he's going to, okay, reset back to neutral. Okay, enough.
Bad dip. Oh, nice punish.
No.
Yeah, got a little bit aggressive off the platform there. You need to take advantage every time, and that sent him so horizontal. I think Sonix just trying to fade back a little bit, and that side B actually manages to take the stock.
Yeah, in this situation, Capitancito is actually, like, despite a bit of a rough start, we saw him take nearly 140% before he could finally fire back. He's out here. He's building it up, and the way we've seen him playing, he might be living for quite some time yet.
I love every time he does that. Just uses the down B to cover the up B in, keeps him safe. And another thing that's really good for Capitancito in this matchup is normally Sonix is the one who's going to win in the long game. But Meat Gunner also is very good at playing the long game, and that just plays right into his hands. That's why you're seeing a much more aggressive Sonix by comparison to normal here in game number 1.
Speaking of more aggressive, he's going to just double jump right into his face and get that back air. 96% already on the board, though. He's not too far from staring down the barrel of death, as well as the barrel of Meat Gunner's gun. He's going to try and land onto that top platform, and that nair is a menace for Sonix trying to approach.
I am really liking Sonic's approach to this right now. You saw how he just kind of stood still, staring down Capitancito. He was obtaining data. He was figuring out how he wants to try and pressure him. And now, I mean, unfortunately, he takes that down B, but Sonix definitely looks very confident. It seems like he's starting to get caught in a jump out of shield, which is what you don't want to do playing around with Capitancito. We've talked about it multiple times tonight. That out of shield game, the up tilt and the up smash are just so good.
Yeah, and that is going to be, like you said, game 1. It wasn't the way that I expected game 1 to end, especially with Sonix starting to heat up at the end there. But as I see you getting your Appy Juice, it was really nice up tilt.
Yes, it's so good. I think somebody put the actual frame data in earlier. It's like frame 6. That isn't a tremendous out of shield option. Just being able to deal with pretty much like you got frame 3 jump squat, and then unless it's like Luigi with frame 3 nair, you're pretty much gonna beat out anybody trying to swing. So if they have to respect it, stay grounded and punish it. However, you don't want to be standing directly next to them. If you spot dodge in front of Capitancito, you're probably taking a charge shot to the face or a call out read with that forward smash.
Right. And it's actually a really good call out because Capitancito is, well, we saw it there, so good at catching things on his shield. That nair, that smash 4 cloud nair almost, was doing so good at punishing almost every single one of Sonix's approaches. So now we're going to Sonix's counter pick, which is going to be FD here.
Let's
see what he can do here instead. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, that is amazing. It still blows my mind with how many characters in this game, how wide of a variety, like, this game is so balanced in terms of overall character viability. Everybody's got something. Sure, some characters have a lot less than others, but they still have some type of cheese. And this character in Mii Gunner is something nobody saw forever, and Capitancito has just been making consistent waves with them since.
Same thing with Wadi. And so Wadi picked up Mii Gunner alongside Capitancito during the online era. I know Wadi's played Mii Gunner a couple of times offline too. But, like, this character, same with the other Miis, just kind of didn't exist. Like, no one put them on their tier lists. No one talked about them in matchup discussions. They were just kind of, again, non-existent. And then Capitancito showed up and started winning a lot.
Yeah, it's just, like, it's just one of those things, you sit there, you think you're comfortable, and then you have to practice another matchup out of nowhere. It just throws people off. And just look at the way that Sonix has been adjusting. He's doing exactly what he did in the last game. He started to notice and wait for the pattern gaps. And you know what Capitancito has done to answer that? Instead of doing a lot more side Bs, except he's doing them now, he was using short hop fairs as that check. It's like, okay, I see that you were like catching my timing. Now I'm gonna do this real quick to just make sure you don't jump at me.
He is going to get caught by that, not get caught by that, excuse me. Sorry, I mixed up my states, but he is going to get caught by that up smash on his dash attack in. So that's going to be the first stock yet again following the Capitancito, which is exactly what he was looking for. Now he's trying to catch Sonix on the get up with these missiles, and he's going to do just that. A good spot dodge, though, is going to avoid the fully charged charge shot.
Yeah, so much pressure right there, and he somehow got away from all of it. So great job, Sonix, minimizing the damage he definitely should have taken on any one of those mistakes. But now he's stuck at the ledge. Yeah, I like the fact, well, he did for a second. Go to center stage, try and reset, force him into a bad spot. And Capitancito's consistent just choice of going straight to center stage with up B without getting punished has been so good. But that was a good stall to catch him on that retreating fair to try and get back to stage.
Yeah, but I was about to point that out. Did you see how he used fair and like the recoil from fair as a recovery tool?
Oh yeah, it's one of his main things. You use that as a way to distance yourself in. That's something that's actually been around since 4. You use that as a tremendous drift tool. You could use the B reverse to turn yourself around. He's done it a few times.
Reminds me of Rob's bear.
Yeah, actually just faster and better. Why?
That's kind of OD, man. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, we're living in a world where we have to respect this character, and Capitancito keeps just proving it over and over. Watch the ledge trap! Oh, he's so lucky he took that hit instead of taking the forward smash. That would have been a stock.
Honestly, that might have been a calculated decision there. Like that decision making is something that Sonix is so very good at. In those very, very tight situations, he's like, do I get hit by this or do I get hit by this instead? And he usually, more often than not, chooses the right thing.
Yep, that's something that's not talked about enough, is knowing the right times to take intentional damage. If you're not going to die to a situation, take that hit. Why take the one that you're possibly going to die to?
That was weird. Either way, he's going to get caught by that charge shot. Not quite going to die thanks to some good DI, and the homing attack charge is going to get him just high enough that he can avoid that missile from Capitancito. But neck and neck here. Who's going to take this next stock, Ajax?
I mean, it's getting closer and closer to the point that it's something we don't need to talk about anymore. It's going to be Capitancito who gets the stock, and it's also an L going to the low battery of the person who's running the stream.
Charge your controller, Nick. Come on.
Nick, come on. USB-Cs are everywhere at this point. Come on.
There's one in my headphones. There's one on my microphone. And, you know.
Anyways, so stop throwing shade at the stream runner. Sonic's now in a situation where he's got to make sure he keeps the damage to a minimum. He's got to mitigate as much as possible because he does not want to be playing from behind as the clock goes down, and he finally finds the opener.
Now he's going to bring this back to nearly even, but Capitancito does not let that point stand. He's like, even? Never heard of her. We're going to do this instead. He's going to get that grab. Sonix with a great mash, but he's still in a pretty bad situation. He homing attacks right back to the stage and gets caught by an F smash.
Yeah, he caught him with the jump with the nair, so he forced him pretty much to either go to the ledge or take that hit. Oh, watch the tech. Oh, he's able to bounce off the side. That was great for him because Sonix was positioning himself in a spot so he could get that tech. And Capitancito just putting on a lot of hitbox coverage, just trying to keep him down, but that forward out of shield is going to give him something to work with.
Going to get caught by that F tilt, sending Sonix right back off stage, but he uses the spin charge to get right back on in, right back to where he likes to be, and that is in the advantage state. Back air not quite going to do it, but it brings it damn close. Sonix trying to catch a low recovery, but Capitancito being smart enough to recover high, staying away from it right now.
That's really, oh, that's
no
not
way!
Gonna be it just yet. Watch your way back in. The short missile is going to force you to be in a spot where you have to take this ledge trap again. He takes the hit. Is he going to be able to dodge it this time? No, he gets caught on the way in again.
Playing the bullet hell. He's playing such a... Ajax, this is a result of being both top 5 in their region, offline and online. Both of these guys know each other's playstyle so well, but the problem is that Sonic just cannot get around the bullet hell that Capitancito is throwing into his face. And that second missile is going to take game 2. Now he's up 2-0, potentially sending the second seed of this entire bracket down to losers in winners finals.
Yeah, nobody wants to be dealing with that right now. Actually, nobody wants to deal with either of these two. They're playing so well, and that was on FD. Oh hell no! I get it far away from me. I don't want to deal with this. But that was on FD too. After you already had this, the pick with Town and City, so you got the no platform layout you're looking for, and you still ended up holding the L. That is a good mental W for Capitancito because he understands that even with this great stage for Sonix, he still can just definitely take the game.
Capitancito making a case for himself, like you just mentioned. He's going to get caught, not quite by that. Oh, good dash attack out of this. I love Capitancito's out of shield so much. We've been seeing the up tilts. We've been seeing the up smashes. We've been seeing so much good stuff. I cannot get enough. That was so good out of shield.
So great. Also, hearts in the chat for Frank, for Hangman, please. I haven't seen that man in forever. Hearts in the chat, please, right now. Thank you. So, here on the ledge trap, this is something that we're going to continue to see, like, time and time again. Sonix needs to win there. He needs to keep Capitancito buried in that corner as much as possible, and he's going to find himself that forward air.
So that was an interesting kill, right?
It's a consistency, and now he has a lead. This is tremendous. He needs to hold this lead. He needs to just straight up scrap and body Capitancito right now, because Capitancito has been so good at just mitigating the damage. Once again, we were talking about before, he keeps it as low as possible and still closes it out.
Well, but that first stock right there, that was an example of the Sonix that everyone knows and some people love. Not too many of them, if we're going to be completely honest, but I love it. And he just, like we said, he just ran him over there.
Yeah, he needed that. He needed that stock.
Pavement pancake to take that first stock.
Yo, watch your jump. He's going to be covering the jump, absolutely.
And covering the regrab, too. He covered everything there.
It covers so many options. Like, you're just sitting there trying to, like, take a triple guessing game. Like, okay, any decision I make could be the false one. And that's oh, he already used this jump. He's going to be forced to have to recover low. Misses the tech, too. And that hitbox recovery will constantly get pressured like that.
Ajax, Sonix is mad, dude. He is like, you really put me down 2-0 here. This is my tourney. I run this thing. You are going to take the stock with that. I couldn't even tell if that was the missile or the up tilt that killed, but either way, it is going to take the stock.
Yeah, they both hit like the same
exact time. I'm actually looking back on the stream. That. I don't know how he still lived that.
I don't know. Cheating the system. Oh, is he going to be stuck on the ledge? He could take a decent amount of damage here just for doing that. 58% for accidentally going off stage. He's still got to deal with another mix-up here. 70%. This is where Capitancito has been winning all set. 86 unchecked. This is just continuing. He's got to dodge this too. Homing attack is finally the answer to that ledge trap.
I was about to say, how do you get back on ledge against this? I could not see a way. And Sonix certainly had quite a bit of trouble with just that. He is going to be able to make it back, though, thanks to a good old homing attack to get back on. And with a phantom footstool, Capitancito sets himself right back up in the neutral. 179%, dude. And he's going to get an F smash. How?
Just calls out the landing. Just is like, all right, bet. I see you've used all your resources. That time, it seems like Sonix pretty much understands I have to decide which one of these hitboxes is going to be the best to take. He's got to take damage every time he's stuck there, and Capitancito has been taking full advantage of it. And even here with the stock up, you can see he's like, nope. I got to be super careful because an up tilt out of shield and up smash will delete this stock.
There's just a wall. There's a wall right in front of him that he's having so much trouble just getting right past. But when he does get past it, the advantage state is kind of nutty. Sonix does not let his opportunities go to waste.
Yeah, he takes full advantage. He's decides to go for a jab instead, probably assuming that it was going to be a little out of position or something there. Either way, just swinging, trying to, no spot dodge can happen. And that forward throw looks mean. I don't think I've ever seen that forward throw before. He straight up just punched him with a gun.
Is going to get almost caught by that. I was thinking he was going to get caught. And Capitancito, how does he avoid that? He gets the dash attack off the whiffed homing attack. That's the one thing that makes that move, fair. Is that there's so much ending lag if they miss it, if they just bounce onto the ground. It's so easily punishable. Capitancito showing us exactly how by just running in, dash attack, and getting the stock. We saw him live to nearly 200% on his second stock, so I very much would not count him out of this just yet.
Oh, absolutely not. Like, it's still a situation where even though Sonix is getting damage, you can see he's playing with a risk-reward factor. Like, I'm going to get my damage quick, and then I'm going to reset. I can't afford to keep challenging because if I get stuck at the ledge like last time, he took 80+% just for making a mistake. He can't afford that. That forwarder's not going to do it just yet, though. If he can cover him off stage, he's not going to get him, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
He forced them to go low enough.
Okay. That was the game that Sonix needed to get himself back into this set. But like I said earlier, this is like a perfect, wonderful example of two people who just know each other's play styles so well, trying to just adapt harder. Yeah. Who can adapt the hardest?
It eventually comes down to that point, like where the way I always refer to it is like roommate reads. Somebody you play all the time, even if it's in bracket or at home. You run into those situations where it's like option coverage only you would do to that person because you know their bad behavior.
Remember when Waddy on Twitter posted that one tweet and some people for some reason flamed him for it, where he said, I've won more sets off of reading someone as a person rather than them as a player. That's a real thing. It
goes back to the thing we were talking about before. When you walk up to your favorite player at a tournament, you go, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. And then in your head, you're going, I can't beat them. They're a top player. This is the same thing. If somebody's kind of walking up to you, almost looking like they're not super confident, then play with the idea that maybe that'll happen. And if you get blown up for that hard read on the person, change it up the next game.
If you get blown up for a hard read, okay. And
it happens. Well, I mean, also Waddy is somebody who won all those tournaments literally without owning Smash.
We're not going back to that one.
Only got Smash at home since like pandemic, so he was only practicing at tournaments.
We're not going back to that one, man. Come on.
It's all about how you utilize your practice, not necessarily how much you practice. You need to make sure you're maximizing how you actually practice the game.
Now that Capitancito has the counter pick in his favor, I'd say we go back to a longer stage like Town, maybe. He was having a lot of fun on Town earlier, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
Town was a great pick for him, and we run it right back.
So
one thing that's actually
no, go for it.
No, one thing that we saw was really good for Sonix, and whenever he goes here, is the ability to camp out on like the side platforms, right? That doesn't really work as good against Capitancito because he can put out short hop forward air pressures while still holding stage position, and he can also put things like the slow missile, so he can bait him either A, to stay in shield, or bait a reaction, and force him to homing attack straight to the blast zone.
Oh no, that's so unfortunate for Sonix. Like, sure, I'm not gonna say this is undoable now, but he just threw away his first stock at almost 0%. Like that, especially against a player as good as Capitancito, there's not much recovery from that.
Yeah, he basically gave him a free handicap at this point, just playing a whole stock down, and now it's just
Ajax,
a trade.
Ajax, you could call it a handy Capitancito.
I will absolutely mute your mic. You do that another time.
You set it up. I knocked it down. You can't complain about it.
You didn't knock it down. You threw it in the trash to take it out on the Monday. So. But anyways, it is true though.
It's not a Sonix set without an SD. He was just making it fair.
Sure, it's the same thing as Bayo's. It's literally in the contract that they have to SD at least once. So here with Sonix, he's doing a half-decent job, but the problem is now that he's in a situation where he has to keep running up to shield, he's gonna get baited out. He's gonna get hit. That dash attack just barely missing on the landing.
He's going to try and make his way back in here. Like, Sonix he's still doing his damnedest. He's not giving up. That back air more or less seals his fate. And it's going to be a tough one. Like, I can see it happening. There is a universe. Like, I'm Doctor Strange with the time stone here. There's a universe where Sonix does this. That's like 1 out of every 16 billion. Because Capitancito, the way that he's been playing, yeah.
Capitancito right now is unfortunately Dr. Doom with hidden missiles, and we already know what Dr. Doom did to the universe as well. So this is a situation where you pretty much, you can't interact without risk. You're going to be actively playing around all of these walls, and luckily, you know, Meat Gunner doesn't have foot dives, but this is pretty much like just a nuisance for the rest of this game for Sonix. He has to play as safe as he possibly can, and he's just going to get covered on all approaches by as many projectiles as possible.
And that's just been the story of this entire set. Sonix was able to deal with it because he had the potential to trade with Capitancito. He had the potential to, you know, take some hits in terms of getting some of his own. But once that stock was thrown away, once Capitancito was handed like a huge lead, that trade potential goes out the door because every single trade that Sonix takes is lethal. Speaking of lethal, that back air, going to do it. Capitancito moving on 3-1, the grand finals winner's side.
Easily my favorite thing about Capitancito is his punish game. There was so